The race corruption in Indonesia revealed the nation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, please let me convey a speech for today. I stand before you in this opportunity to talk about one serious problem that has haunted our nation for years: corruption. Corruption is a complex problem that harms the country, community, and national development as a whole. In this speech, I will describe the challenges of corruption in Indonesia, destructive impact, and efforts we must do to build the natives' integrity. Corruption has become a specter in Indonesia's development. Although the government has made various efforts to combat corruption, but there are still many challenges faced. Corruption is at various levels of government, from high officials to the lowest level, and involves public and private sectors. Challenges of facing include difficult cultivation corruption, weak legal system and law enforcement, and the lack of consciousness and active participation of society. Corruption has serious forms and types, which is done for the lowest level to the state organizers and legislative members. If divided by the impact and its exposure, then the corruption can be divided into three types, namely petty corruption, grand corruption, and political corruption. According to the name, petty corruption is a small-scale corruption by public officials who interact with the community. The type of corruption is like wetlands, gratifications, bribery, melting money, or squeeze to smooth public services, or bureaucracy. In fact, the service should be cheap or even free for the community. Petty corruption in everyday life provides giving money to take care of the population or pays for police to the police. This small corruption occurs less often, but is considered ordinary and full of the community. The second, political corruption. Political corruption occurs when political decision makers abuse its authority by manipulating policies, procedures, or rules for the benefit of self-esteem or group. This advantage can be a wealth, status, or defending position. Types of political corruption are bribery, trade influences, selling buying voices, nepotism, or campaign financing. As with the grand corruption, political corruption involves people at the high level of implementing the country that flirt with an entrepreneur in a state of capture's effort. Thought these officials should represent people to create prosperity for them, but betrayed. Political corruption is very potential to be a legislative member also facing as an entrepreneur. The third, grand corruption. Grand corruption is corruption with fantastic state loss value, billions to trillions of rupees. Corruption of snipers benefits a handful of people and sacrifices the public widely. Grand corruption sometimes appears due to Kong between employers and decision makers of policymakers to state capture. State capture is a systematic corruption that occurs when private interests affect to the police of making their own benefit. The reason for people do a corruption can be diverse, but briefly known the Ghosn theory to explain the factor of corruption. The theory of the Ghosn is proposed by Jack Geologist Bologna is an abbreviation of greedy, opportunity, need, and exposure. The Ghosn theory reveals that a person whose corruption is basically greedy and never satisfied. There is never enough worth in a greedy corruption. Greed is depicted by opportunity. It will be a catalyst of corruption. After greedy and the opportunity, a person is at risk of corruption if there is an excessive lifestyle and disclosure or sin for the perpetrators who are not able to cause a deforest effect. Describe again, the corruption factors includes two factors, internal and external. Quoting anti-corporate educational books for the universities, internal factors are the cause of self-corruption. External factor due to outcomes. First, internal factor. 1. Greedy. 2. Consumptive lifestyle. 3. Weak morals. And for external factors, there are the social aspects, politic aspects, and legal aspects. Corruption is a serious problem that the Indonesian nation is to face. The damaging impact touches various aspects of lives and needs to be joint efforts to build the integrity of the transparency, education, and public awareness, as well as active involvement of various parties. We can create a better, free of corruption, and build a fairly and foreseeable country. I hope this speech can be a call for us to unite and work together in an effort against corruption in order to achieve better and dignified Indonesia. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.